Welcome back, everyone. Today we have another install that is going on the new 2024 Jeep Rubicon. This is going to be the grille letters to give that front grille a little bit more of an accent and give you a meaner look for the road. So before we get into the install on these grille inserts, I do want to go over the cleaning. Now, for this, it is fairly simple. We don't have to do any type of clay barring. Typically, if you want to, if it feels like the grill has been pelted by any type of debris or something like that, maybe it has a little bit of a rough texture to it, you can clay bar that with just a little bit of soap and water. However, these are fairly new since they are 2024s, so there's usually not too much debris that's already on there. But you do want to clean this off with a good soap and water mix. This is ours that you can purchase from us on our website. And with a clean towel, the cleaning process should be fairly quick. Now, you don't want to do this when your vehicle is hot. That is definitely something that you want to stay away from. You want this to cool down to a good temperature to where there's not heat radiating from that radiator or from the grill, because that will soften up the material and you may not hit those points for this insert, and it may distort the vinyl. It's very difficult once that is pulled too far to get that back into shape. So definitely make sure that you are at a completely cold vehicle. Next, we want to do this in a controlled environment. That also goes with that heat and temperature settings. You want to have this vehicle sitting in a good enclosed environment that doesn't have debris running around or that is too hot of a temperature. Anything above 75 degrees or anything below 65 degrees will typically cause that vinyl to have somewhat of a difficult time with the install. So you do want to avoid those things. Other than that, with that alcohol water mix, you do just want to be a little bit thorough when cleaning this off. If you guys do have a squeegee from us, if not, then we can provide that for you. Just make sure that you add a request for it whenever you place your order. But with the squeegee, you do want to go ahead, grab your towel, spray the edge of your squeegee, wrap it around that towel just a little bit, just so you can get into those small recesses on that grill. So that way, if this is something that you drive daily, then those recesses don't have any dirt inside of them that could possibly fall off into that vinyl. So you just want to slowly go over those. Nothing too crazy. I like to start from the top, go down to the bottom, so that way if there is anything that is trapped in there, it is only going to fall down, and it's just easy as that. Next up, of course, you want to have a heat gun. This is going to require a little bit of heat, even though I did say that you do want this to be in a good temperature and that you don't want your grill to be warm. You do want the vinyl to stay cool for it to be placed on top. Once it is in a good spot that you like, you do want it to curve around these edges and seal off with a clean look. Now, there is a small bit of gap from the back side of that grill to where the gray pieces are right here, but that is just going to be a very small gap. Once again, this is for the Rubicon. We haven't tested this yet for the other submodels that are offered. However, if you guys do want to order this as a full set for all 7, you can, but just please let us know if that is something that you want to do. As well as if you do order the 2, then you are going to receive a set extra in case the first ones that you put on don't quite go the way you want it to. Now that we've gone over everything that you'll have to do as far as prep and cleaning and environment, we can get into the install. All right, so first I'm going to start off with the outer grill insert. And you can either fold the paper and pull half of this, or if you want, you can pull the whole thing. I'll pull the whole one first, and then for the one that's closer to the headlight, I'll pull half of it. Now, those arrows that are on the paper are to help you guys make sure that these are right side up. We haven't tested this upside down, but we are fairly sure that the bottom side of this is a little bit either thicker or thinner than the top. Now, when you're laying this, you do want to make sure you put just a little bit of pressure, just to either, once you have this top up here, you want to lock that in, add a little bit of pressure on it. And once you start working the side, you just want to make sure that you have the raised portion of that grill towards the middle. And then once you work down to the bottom, you just want to make sure that you have the bottom half fairly lined up. If you need to give it just a light pull, that is okay. That little bit of pull that you give it will help it curve around up here. Now, if you're happy with that, you can grab the heat gun. If you feel like it's a little bit off, then since you only have the front side of that tacked down and the back side is still exposed, or those sides are still exposed, you can still lift this up if need be, and it won't be an issue. Of course, you do want to make sure that your hands are clean before you do that. And once you have that front down, you can grab your heat gun. Now, this isn't a special type of heat gun or anything like that. This is just one that we believe bought from Home Depot or Lowe's. And you just want to warm up those edges. You don't want to touch them quite yet. You just want to get a good amount of heat distributed around those sides. And it may have seemed like I had the heat on there for quite a while, but I had kept moving it around, so it wasn't focused too much in one spot. And before you start using your squeegee, you can just go ahead and get that ready. But you do want to start just curving in these corners first. And you're not going to be able to get them all that tight up in there, but that is why you have your squeegee right there. If you do have fingernails, it will help a little bit, but it's all right. If you don't, just gonna warm up this corner a little bit. Push that side down, same thing here. Go up to the top. Now we can start to curve this in with our hand. And all we're doing right now is just kind of getting it ready for that squeegee. Now, once you have it just about as far as you can get it by hand, then we are going to grab our squeegee. We're going to warm up these parts where it's just a little bit bunched up. And they're not going to lay down, but they will be a little bit easier to work with. So if you want, you can start from the inside. Doesn't necessarily matter, but I am going to get this just to lay down. See, thanks to that heat, it took away those wrinkles. Same thing over here. You just want to work from where you already have it laid down to where it's not. We're just going to get those little wrinkles out. Now that those are gone, we can start working our way up. You just have to be a bit patient with it. If you think it's starting to cool down just a little too much, you can just give it just a little bit of heat. Nothing crazy. Slowly work those sides in. Just trying to overlap where I let off with the squeegee. And we've got the outside, we can work the inside the rest of the way. And I'm going to leave those corners for last. And we're going to use that heat gun one more time on these four corners. And then once you have those corners set up in there, you're gonna go back over it with your heat just to make sure they're not going to lift up. If they do, it's okay. You can still push them back down since that adhesive is still fresh. And now that I've done this one, I am going to start on this one. I'm going to do it, like I said, a bit different. It's where I have half of it peeled and the other half of it still on the paper. But for those of you who might want to do that one section, there you are. All right, so now that we have the inward facing one done, we're gonna do the outside facing one that's closer to the taillight. Now, I did just peel this one directly off. Like I said, I'm gonna just try to do it a little different for you guys. For those of you who might not want to keep these together, might be a little bit easier for you to work it this way. But this does let me show you guys the arrow once again to make sure that it is facing up. With this one, it's a little bit easier to tell what direction it's supposed to face with that headlight indentation. But with this, you can just give it a quick fold. That way you only have the top half to work with. All right, now once you have everything nice and buttoned up to your liking, you go back over, heat check everything, make sure that adhesive is set in, and you are ready to hit the road. So with that install completed, keep in mind that you guys can order all 7 of the slats if that is something that you would like to do. However, if that is something that you prefer, then let us know, give us an email. We are here from Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and we will answer to phone and emails. So if you could give us a like and a follow, we appreciate you.